I was scattered in many, just all over the place. And I kept trying to make myself better and be perfect. And I realized that I am perfect. That's what I realized. And it felt like the pieces have all come together for me. Now they're not all together, but I feel more whole. I feel more in myself. I don't feel like I have to do everything for everybody else. I realize that I get to love myself, that's okay. I didn't have that experience before. And I love myself. And I've also been able to give myself a break. Like, you know, if I set up something that I want to do and I don't follow through completely, or it doesn't look the way I thought it should look, it's just like, okay, that's all right. We can be okay with this. We don't have to, you know, I would beat myself up and just make myself miserable before. So, but I truly have a whole new look on life. I mean, I see things so differently and so clearly, and that I'm sure is out of this process, that I was able to do that. Along with self-love is when I go to buy something, I mean, I usually buy the cheapest thing, but I just like, what is going to make me feel good? What's going to make me look good? So that is a whole different way of looking at life. Like, I actually can spend money on myself, and that is okay. I deserve that.
So through this whole journey, I think I have used everything that we've learned in our group to learn to trust myself, to learn that it's okay to just feel really vulnerable. I'm going through a separation with my husband, and I went from feeling like an abandoned puppy dog that got left behind, literally, to feeling really okay with this change in my life and being on my own. And I think it's about, this whole journey for me has been about having more compassion for myself. And just like, why can I extend compassion to everyone else is how I used to feel in the past. Like, I have been the soul of empathy and compassion for everyone else, but not for me. So I believe that, like, the cumulative change for me is learning to have that love for myself.
I think it made me so much more aware of, like, not being like this puppet doing things in the world, like not looking at myself like that way, like this is my list of things that I have to do, and the roles and all the expectations that I project out that people might have. Yeah, really big things are actually that I really do notice that I'm less scared of people, which makes a huge difference in my life, like enormous. And I really noticed, like, that if I just, and how I experience my life, it's also more fluid. So it's more like that I feel my way into, I always wanted to live that way, but there was also this big list of expectations in my head. But it's more fluid, it feels more fluid. So I'm more like, okay, this feels good and I'm going to do this. And I noticed, like, whoa, there is so much loving connections in my life, and I don't look at it at a more rigid way that I would have earlier. So it's more like always a big surprise. Oh, actually also I noticed, like, whoa, like everybody's treating me so kindly. And it was really, it must be like that my energy is different, and also the way I love myself is different. Also, I have now a real intimacy in my relationship, and that is also much deeper than I've ever experienced before. I feel so much less a victim of a situation, and if I do it, I think I now really catch myself quite quickly, and I really experience, and that gives such a profound feeling of expansion and of possibility.
I feel like after this class, after us coming together, I feel like I'm focused more on being open and willing instead of focusing on the weight on my back, the weight of the problems, the weight of the expectations of family, of putting other people first. Instead of looking at the problems and the weight of all of that, I feel like now I'm focused on what my potential is. I don't have the charge or the energy to want to fix people anymore or feel like they should come first. So I just sit with love, with compassion for people, for my family. I'm able to set out a boundary. I'm not focused on what's wrong with me. I'm focused on my worth and self-love and what I can contribute from that, instead of what I think other people would make other people happy, because they don't really know, and I gave away too much power. So it was very transformational and just a beautiful journey. And I love you all. I'm very, very grateful.
Beginning of the year, I was feeling very, you didn't have that like New Year's resolution energy. Like let's see what needs to be healed. It's just feeling confused, lost, disconnected, and I'm very much of a like focused person. Like, what am I going to be working on? So I felt that's kind of what's bringing me into more of a place of, I wouldn't say depression, but just kind of like, you know, not feeling motivated, feeling a little down. But the disconnected piece, I think, was pretty big for me. So going through this journey, it was amazing to be in sisterhood with all of these beautiful women here, because I felt so lifted up and encouraged as I was going through all the different trials and things that came up. It left me feeling very motivated, focused, because I validated myself. That energy, like, facilitated in the work that I do in psychology. It helped my clients. It helped me with developing my intuitive gifts even more deeply. My relationships are better. So the way I talked about myself, outwardly and inwardly, I think changed a lot. So yes, I want to again recognize all of you and say thank you so much. The sisterhood here has really like propelled me and like supported me, so I can feel I'm at this much more like secure, loving place. So thank you so much.
Instead of actually starting a spiritual website, which I am restarting now, I decided that I was going to go forth with my painting. So I organised an art exhibition here on the island. I've opened an Instagram page called Aspect Art Linda. I actually did a video, believe it or not, put myself out there. So, I mean, really, I've definitely gone way beyond my comfort zone. So I believe in me now, really, and I think that's more than anything else. And I've got confidence that, I've got the nerves, but I'm pushing myself out there. Because I think as healers or as givers, as we are people's pleasers as well, because I've been big style in that, And I think we just give ourselves and we just don't realise that we matter. I always say, as long as my kids are okay, as long as they're okay, as long as the cat's all right, it doesn't matter, And I didn't realise that you pointed it out one day, and yes, I do matter. And I'm reclaiming that. So I'm beginning to feel so much joy, which is I've never had before. I mean, I have a value, and I can add value to this world, and I can co-create with others to make this exciting world, and be my authentic self. That's the joy. I haven't got to be anything or do anything but just be me.